Hi everyone, welcome to SCube TV. My name is Rajni, and today I have with me a very special guest joining us from Orlando, Florida. Her name is Karlette Karras, and she is the CEO of Serenity Grace, People Helping People. Let's welcome her to SCube TV and talk to her about her journey and also about her nonprofit organization called Serenity Grace, People Helping People. So, hi Karlette, how are you? Welcome to SCube TV.
Thank you for inviting me. This is such a great honor. I'm doing great today. Like I said, just getting the holidays, trying to get things done, so we're still in go mode.
Uh, Yeah, it's holiday vibe all around, and even though everyone is working, I mean, few people are working and few people are not working, but I don't think so that people really want to because it's the holiday season and the holiday vibes and festival vibes. So how are your preparations for Christmas? Let's start the show with that.
Okay, so you kind of froze on everything. I don't know if you said it's because of the holiday seasons, people aren't getting into it. Um,
No,
the
I'm sorry.
connection.
So I'm going to repeat it again. No problem. I'm going to repeat it again. So I was saying that, because of the holiday season, even though people are working, but everyone is in the holiday mode and holiday vibe. So mostly people just are in that zone, I was saying. So I was
It's
asking
not
you that
good.
how not good. One second. Let me just get a better connection. One second. Hi everyone, welcome to SCube TV. My name is Rajni, and today I have with me a very special guest joining us from Orlando, Florida. Her name is Karlette Karras. She is the CEO of nonprofit organization called Serenity Grace People Helping People. So let's welcome Karlette to SCube TV and talk to her more about her nonprofit organization and also about her journey. Hi Karlette, welcome to SCube TV. How are you doing today?
Hi, thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you for this invitation. It's very honored for us to be chosen to be on your show. Um, I hope everyone is doing well in spite of the pandemic that we're going through. I hope everyone is doing good.
Yeah, it's indeed a pleasure having you on the show. And, thank you for coming to the show and doing this interview. And but before I ask you about anything, before I jump into any question, I just would like to know from you something about yourself. I mean, you are the CEO of Serenity Grace, but with that, how did you start this organization and what did you do before that? If you can talk about that.
So the organization was started because of my granddaughter, who is Serenity. I used to take her out on mission trips, community service projects, and a lot of people had a lot of pushback saying she was too young. So we stopped going because I'm like, if she can't go, I'm not going to do it. And she kept bugging me about, Grandma, I want to go back out and help the people. I want to help the people. We got all these clothes. We can get food. And I pushed it off until her seventh birthday. She didn't give in. So I said, you get the volunteers together and we'll do it. And she got on my phone and she called my best friend who's in heaven now and explained to her. And she's like, I'm on board. Then she started calling other people and going to our neighbors' houses, asking them if they would come and help. And we went out on New Year's Day and fed over 100 people that day. From then, before we could even end that event, the volunteers was like, are we doing this again? When? And I was like, next month, same time, same place, and we did it every day, every month. We every month we did buffet style meals. So we cook all the food, take it out, and then get to come through the line and pick the food and get clothes and toiletries and shoes. And we take music out and we dance with them. It was like a block party, family reunion, more type. So we've grown from that to my passion was to do more, and we're doing way more now. So we're furnishing apartments. We're doing pantry every week. We do a lot with the senior citizens, the veterans. So we're growing, but it's a struggle because we didn't get the grant money. We didn't get, a lot of stuff, but for some reason, people believe in us and they've been donating, and we have been able to help families. Like we did our Christmas yesterday, and kids got Christmas presents on top of their parents getting presents and them having food. Like a lot of them wouldn't have had Christmas dinner if we hadn't done what we did because a lot of our were there on the bus, so they're not allowed to go to the drive-up pantries, the mobile drops. You have to have a vehicle. You pop the trunk open and they throw the food in. So we're filling the gap for the people that need us.
Wow, that's amazing. That's beautiful. And your granddaughter actually sounds like an angel sent to you, you know, uh, from God himself because she is so. I mean, you told about her that she actually wanted to feed people foods and she wanted to help people. And I think you for how long did you hold that till her seventh birthday?
She was 7 and she just turned 16 last month. So, yeah, she's still young and still doing
I
things. Like
mean,
she spent 10 hours here yesterday.
exactly. Wow. I mean, exactly. She's so young, and having such a thought at such a young age is itself a miracle. And you are doing amazing. So with that, I also would like to know from you that how long has it been for you to since the you started the nonprofit organization?
We started back in 2011, but that was us, starting our own. And but we've been working with other organizations, and they kind of like were our mentors on telling us what we needed to do to push forward. So 2011 was our kickoff date, and since then, like I said, we went from once a month to we do something every week. We're here every day for the community. I have people coming today that couldn't make it to pantry, that will come to us. Like, we always keep food here as emergency purposes for some people. So since 2011, so 9 years strong, solid,
Wow.
solid, with
Amazing.
a
Amazing.
steady growth every year.
Amazing. So, you must have gone through a lot of challenges. Have you? And what kind of challenges did you face? To start the organization, because it is something that it is something big that you're doing. You're
You're
feeding
freezing.
people. You're helping them. I'm freezing. Are you able to
Well,
see me and hear me now?
the challenges that it was getting the food, um, getting the resources. So we would have to drive an hour and a half. Yes, well, you're freezing.
Okay, no, I actually was asking you about the challenges. Yeah, please go ahead and tell.
So the initial challenges was getting the food. So when we were doing the once a month, it was all my volunteers and friends that were providing the food. Like, they out of their pockets, they would buy all the food. I was a merchandiser at the time, so I had the inside track on when shoes were going on clearance, and I would buy all the shoes I could because they would mark them down to $6. Plus, I got a discount at the various stores that I was doing. So, we basically we did everything based off volunteers and friends and family. And then when we started doing pantry, it was, how do we get the food to feed the people, quality food, fresh vegetables, fresh fruit. And we couldn't get anybody to help us. And there was one organization that was helping us, but she wasn't supposed to. She was like, I'm going to help you. And we would drive an hour and a half to get food, and come back. And then we started having, issues with freezer space. And it was just, how do we do this? How do we do this? So for 8 years, it took us 8 years to get signed up with Second Harvest Food Bank, and they supply all the food, but then we do have to buy food as well. So like meat, eggs, milk, those things, they're offered to us at 19 cents a pound. So that meant we had to raise more money to buy the food. And 19 cents a pound is really cheap compared to when you go in the store and buy the food. But in order for our clients to get quality products, we decided we would do some fundraisers. Like, we have a thrift store that's pending open, but because of the pandemic, we're doing flea market sales, and because of the pandemic, it shut down. So people were doing their birthday Facebook birthdays. So they would raise money, like, and give us the money. And then, we have people that do monetary donations every month just because they know what we're doing. But it's still hard when we started out with 40 people coming to our pantry to now we're over 160 that walk up. And then we have 188 senior citizens that we deliver to their building, and because they have no transportation. So, and a lot of them are afraid to come out. So we deliver to them every Tuesday. So it takes a team, it takes partnerships to make all these things happen. And we're still, because we didn't get the COVID money, Second Harvest got COVID money, and we were able to get free a lot of the stuff we would have had to pay for. We were able to get it free. So we had an influx of food. So we made sure that, when people came to pantry every week, they went home with a week to 2 weeks worth of groceries. And that makes a difference when so many people are being laid off unexpectedly, the COVID, so they don't get paid when they're off from work. So to have to decide about keeping your lights on or getting your medication, to not have to worry about food, that's where we play an integral part in our community. Our thing is, no one should be hungry, and no one should really be homeless. No one should be, but they are. And we've had a few people that have gotten their keys, and we do what they call apartment takeovers. And we've gone in and furnished their entire apartments because they give them the keys, but no furniture. So, in essence, they're sleeping on the floor, no refrigerators, no stoves, so we fill the gap there. Like, we literally take over their apartment and we put pictures on the walls. We fill the refrigerators with food. We decorate the bedrooms and the living rooms and make sure that they have their essential needs met instead of just in a lonely apartment. So it turns from a house to a home, and it's filled with love. Like, my volunteers, like, they think outside the box and they buy things that they think these people would like, and it just all comes together because we're all on the one accord of giving them some self-esteem and letting them know that, yeah, you're in this apartment, you're not alone, and we check on them. Like, we keep a check on them and make sure that they're okay.
Wow, wow. I'm sure it must take a lot of a lot of hard work, a lot of because like you mentioned that you keep a check on all of them, and you have for about, I think, how much, 80 or 151? I just want to make sure the figure of senior citizens.
It's 188 in the two towers that we go to, and then there's five more at another building. So we go to three different buildings. We have three, yeah. So 188,
Wow.
193 are senior citizens, just, yeah. But that doesn't include the senior citizens and the veterans that come here on Tuesday. It's a lot of them. If you would see our Facebook page, you see they're in walkers, they're in wheelchairs, canes, and my volunteers are excellent at putting the food in their cars. Some of them, they even walk their food to their homes because they are walking distance, but they're struggling because we give them so much food. But we make sure that they're okay. We were blessed with 6 Christmas trees, and we took them to families that we knew wouldn't have a Christmas tree, and we put presents under those trees. So it's not just food, it's not just clothes. It's you got to think outside the box of everything that
Yeah.
these families are going through. And even though my family is struggling, it, it we're not bad off. You know, um, it's a struggle every day to do what we do to keep a roof over our heads. So we know that we're, one day from being homeless if this pandemic doesn't well, it's you got to keep looking positive, keep staying positive, and keep thinking about, I can do better, I can do better, I can help more people. But we still got to do self-care too.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing such a beautiful thing, such an amazing thing, and you have to stay positive. And one should stay positive because you are not just feeding people, but you are taking care of their happiness, and you are taking care of them, their happiness, and basically everything about them. So you are like a blessing to to all these people's lives. So you have to stay positive, and everything is going to happen. I mean, everything will be happening good because everything happens for a reason, and it happens for good at the end. So it will
And
be
yeah,
everything will be good.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. So when
yes.
you talked about your volunteers and the people who work with you. So when I talk about, how can, because you do such an amazing job, such an amazing work, if someone wants to connect with you and someone wants to work with you, how can they? If you can please talk about that.
So we have a website, and it's still being perfected right now. Nothing can ever be perfect, but it's www.serenitys with an S giftoflove.com, and we have a contact button on there if people want to sign up and come and volunteer. Also on our Serenity's Grace Facebook page, which if you go there, you'll see all the various activities. Like, if people don't want contact volunteer, like, we have other things that they could do inside to put toiletry bags together, help, set up the food pantry, and then they don't have to have any client contact. We also have other projects that we do with the Boys and Girls Club. Like we just drop the supplies off to them. They put the toiletry bags together and then we pick them up. Because of pandemic, I know a lot of people are still afraid to come out and do things, but we are mandatory mask at our facility, and it's mandatory that when you're serving clients that you have gloves on. We do temperature checks when people come in, and we practice safe distancing to ensure. So if anyone wants to, even if they don't want to come in and volunteer and hang up clothes, like they can do that, alone. Like they could do it in the room by themselves. There are various things that can be done, to protect everyone's safety, but it's everyone's comfort into consideration. There's no age restriction. We have our youngest volunteer who is one. Like she just comes and entertains the people. And then our oldest, she's in her late 60s, I want to say 70s. So we have something, and the senior citizens that we delivered, so their volunteers are at the building, and they actually put all the groceries together so that the residents can come down and get them without us being in the building. Check their safety as well. And even though it's limited restriction there, we work with the community. She's a community advocate slash administrator and the chaplain there. So they pretty much oversee what the volunteers are doing and help get the food distributed out. So yeah.
Okay, okay, great. So, you already have mentioned about the age limit.
That's
I
my
mean, there's
daughter. You
no
see in
age.
the background. She's working. Hmm.
Oh, okay. I can't see her right now, but hello to her from Escape TV and from my side. And so, I actually wanted
Yeah,
to ask
she's
about.
getting food.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So, I just wanted to
Sorry.
ask you about. No problem, no problem. So I just wanted to ask you about uh, you already have mentioned that there is no age restriction for for working with you. But when I talk about student, a lot of students also look for volunteer hours. So is there any rules or regulation for them, or they can just come and join your organization?
That is why we are so different because we welcome students. A lot of agencies don't want to work with them. We do because a lot of students need the hours to graduate. So there's no restrictions on them. They can come and do as many community service hours, or if they just want to come just hang out to get away from their parents. Like we're a fun place. So we welcome students of all ages. We've had quite a few
Okay.
students that were trying to get their Boy Cub Scout patches, badges. So the Cub Scouts come and do their little work and they earn their badges for their community projects. So yes, we do welcome students.
Okay. Great. Okay. So, okay. So I also would like to know about, if I talk about the mission that you have with this organization, you must be having a mission a vision and a goal that you have for this organization, for the, your dream as in, that you have with this organization. Do you? I mean, of course, you must be having. So if you can talk about that.
So our mission is to end homelessness and hunger. And with that, we are partnering with a community organization here, and they're going to be building 100 tiny homes for the veterans. And we're partnering
Oh,
with them because that was my granddaughter's. That's one of her dreams is to buy up some land and put tiny homes on them and take the homeless people away. So we met this organization that has that same passion, but they have the money to do it. So they reached out to us and asked us if we would be their primary source for food. Would we be their food pantry? So they're going to put a tiny home up on the property and we will supply it with food to keep the veterans fed on top of putting a store there, one of our thrift stores, so that they have access to clothes and all the clothing, everything that would be in the thrift store is $1. So they would work the store, and that would be sustainability for them as well as the community garden. So our goal is to end homelessness and to end hunger, and also to build people's self-esteem back up. So we're looking into job training, job education, helping people get their GED so that they can get those jobs and qualify for those jobs and be job readiness. So we're going to have a location where if they have an interview, they'll be able to come in and get the clothes, and we dress them for the whole week. Like, you're going to get this job. We're going to, do some practice interview skills so that they're comfortable, and then dress them for success. So when they walk in, they can hold their head up high and not, look down and say, my clothes are dirty or I smell. We're working with getting showers here, the mobile showers, so that they can come and take a shower and get their, haircut and get a shave and go in with self-esteem. So it's one thing is building the community up and letting them know that we do, believe in second chances and we're here to help. So a lot of organizations don't want to work with felons and they don't want to work with the homeless. And I think that that's all they need is to know that somebody cares. And if you follow through, they could succeed and be better people. So that's it.
Wow, that's a beautiful, mission that you have, and I really wish that you get successful in it, and I'm sure you will. You know. Okay, so now moving on to my next question, I also would like to know about your team size. How many people do you have in your team, and is there a hierarchy in your organization?
So if you want to say the consistent, see, it consists of me, my daughter, my granddaughter, my son, his two friends, and then that's family based. And then we have 15 volunteers that come every Tuesday. So on a low scale, 25. However, we need more. Yesterday, because it was our Christmas event, we had upwards of 35 volunteers here. When we did our Thanksgiving drive, we did a fall for all for the community. We had 60 volunteers show up. Like, we've never had that many volunteers, and it was just amazing because they were all over the place. They were, dancing with the people, entertaining the kids. Um, the Boar's Head company brought their refrigerator truck out and they brought their staff out to volunteer. So we always need more volunteers because we have so much food and we have so many people. Like I said, we started with 40 people signing up for pantry to now we have 150 to 160 people walking up on top of the apartments that we're delivering to. So we always need people because people do have, things that come up and it's out of their control. So, volunteers aren't always here. And when they're volunteering, you can't get upset because they are volunteering. So if we had a consistent flow, someone to help with like data entry and calling clients to check on them, or even, doing door drop deliveries to their homes, we probably could reach more people because we do have people that can't get to us and we can't get to them because we are very limited.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. So, also, who are the key persons in your organization? Someone, if people, yeah. So, if people from anywhere would like to connect with, the person, if anyone from your organization, who can they connect with, and also who are the key persons?
The key person would be myself and my daughter. So my daughter is Nakira. That's the one you see running back and forth because she's packing boxes for families. And our contact number is 407-470-9091. That phone is answered and calls are returned within 24 hours. Um, then there's also, like I said, our Facebook. So we have it's a Facebook suite. So people send messages to us through there, and we connect through them. We have 3 people monitoring that. So questions are answered pretty rapidly on the Messenger, which is Serenity's Grace Facebook. And then Instagram. I'm not good at Instagram and I'm still learning it. So people, they mention us in comments and I still haven't figured it out because I'm old. So I'm good with Facebook. And it's monitored. That Facebook is monitored 24/7. Yes.
Okay, okay. Got it. So now when I talk about, because you do such an amazing job and it must be obviously taking a lot of funds. So if I talk about, funds for organizations, so how do you guys raise funds?
Well, that's a good thing. That's a hard thing. We we do yard sales, sidewalk sales. Like I said, we just entered we got nominated for a grant for Siemens, and they won't announce what we got, if we got anything, until next month. We did get recognized by Zephyr Hills Water. Um, we don't know how, like, no one's owned up to how Zephyr Hills found us, but they gave us $1,000 grant because they thought what we were doing in the community was outstanding. And then we were lucky. There's two young ladies that are making masks and scrunchies, and so every month they pick a charity to donate their proceeds to, and they chose us last month, and we actually set a record with them for their fundraising. So that was pretty cool. And then we have a food critic who she goes to these restaurants and they name Serenity's Grace for a week, and all the proceeds from the restaurants come from them. So it's with the pandemic, we had a few golf tournaments set up and some fashion shows, of course, and those were going to really bring in, some money that we really needed, but it didn't happen. So we basically are surviving off of donations from strangers and from friends. Like we have some friends that they've pledged to give monthly to our organization to help us because they see they are part of what we do, and they believe in what we do, and they see where their money is going. So it's good when people always say I post too much on Facebook, but it's like I'm so transparent. I think everybody needs to know how much fun I'm having and all the food that we're giving the people and the people's reactions. We were rated in the top nonprofits with an organization called Great Nonprofits. So this is the second year that we've made it in the top of their organization. So we get donations from strangers because they're looking for ways to donate through that site. And then, like I said, when people have their birthdays, they dedicate their birthdays to Serene's Grace. So some of them meet their goals and some don't. But we've had a DJ go live for 24 hours to raise money for us. So it's a struggle with the pandemic, but you know, it's everything happens for a reason, and for some reason,
Yeah.
people believe in us, and we're doing it.
Wow. Amazing. Okay. So, only people from Florida or can people from all over the world connect with you?
All over the world. Yeah, if they're on Facebook, if they have a phone, like all over the world. Like I said, with the technology, um, I'm on TikTok. TikTok. I'm on
Okay,
TikTok, and
yeah.
I have friends in Scotland that I chat with on a regular basis, and then I have friends in Australia because I'm trying to go to Australia. I have friends from Greece there, so yeah, we're all over the world. Like people watch my stuff and they're like, "Oh my God, that's so much food! I wish you were here." And I was like, "I wish I was there too." Like we'd like to go worldwide with this, but anybody can, if they're on Facebook, they're on TikTok, they can find Serenity's Grace. Instagram, not so good at it, but we're on Instagram. And I think we're on Twitter, but like I said, I stick to what I know. The young kids
Mm-hmm.
do Snapchat and all that other, but well,
Okay.
anyone can reach us. Anyone can reach us.
Okay.
And our website
Also
has
now,
donate. Mhm.
yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so the website is set up with PayPal, and I think that's international. Not really sure, but we have that capability in Zelle Pay. So we make it easy for people, but also, some people like to mail checks, and we have no problem with checks, but we are just people helping people, and the more people we help, the more donations we get, the more people we can help. So we're trying to grow, to do more. Like I said, we're up against a battle here. The big
Yeah.
organizations, they get more help, but I think that with us keeping low overhead expenses, that we are able to do more, and we're gonna keep growing. I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, yeah. And it is surely going to happen good. And now you also have your friends from India too. So it is definitely going to be
Yes.
worldwide. Yes.
I know. I was like, wow. I just hit India. Like I'm so super excited by that. Like, yo. My granddaughter's like, India. I was like, yeah, they're in India because she wanted to be here, but I told her she could have the day off because we worked out really hard yesterday. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, come visit India soon, and whenever you are here, just let us know. We'll surely connect with each other.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Think
So,
we
yeah.
should do a
Okay.
mission
So,
trip.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is going to be a mission trip now. Okay. So, okay, well, I have one more question for you. So, with the non-profit organization that you're running, you must be having so many memorable moments. I think you must be having those memorable moments every day because you are doing such an amazing, amazing work. You are taking care of people's happiness, of them, and so much more. So, is there a memorable moment that you would like to share with us and also with the audiences?
Well, like you said, there's so many of them. Because of the pandemic, we were able to partner with the Four Seasons Hotel in March, and they gave us so much furniture. We redid 90 assisted living residence apartments. And for them to, so we're still allowed to go to the assisted living place because I'm in good pockets with the director. And so he said, come over, the guys want to talk to you. And so when I got there, the guys and the girls were down and they had taken pictures in with their new beds and their new linens. And it was like, Miss Coco, I slept like a baby. I didn't want to get out of my bed today. Thank you so much for my bed. And then the other one's like, I got a sofa and a bed. So now I can watch TV. And I was like, is it comfortable? He's like, I actually fell asleep. So those are moments that say what you're doing is good and you need to keep doing it. And I mean, I could tell you so many stories. You'll probably be like, yo, this lady never shuts up. But when you have a mom and a kid sleeping on the floor, and within 24 hours, you transform their lives. And the son, he says, this is the best Christmas ever. I don't need Christmas presents. He's like, Miss Coco, I don't know where you came from, but thank you, thank you. I love my bed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He's like, I don't need Santa Claus to come to my house. He needs to go someplace else. And I was like, those are moments that let you know what you're doing makes a difference. For them to say that we got all this food, we got all of this, and we got a couch, and we got, things we take for granted. To hear a
Yeah.
14-year-old say that, or even the disabled people, they were texting me because the director was like, here, text Coco what you want to say. And just from that right there makes everything that we're doing is right. For people to say we haven't had food, this kind of food in 2 weeks and months, like we can't afford to have fresh vegetables, and you guys are giving us vegetables and fruit. It lets me know that what we're doing is right, and that these people know that we care about them. The homeless people in the park, they all know me, and it's funny when other organizations go down there. It's like, they cocoa send you, and they're like, no, and they're like, we don't want your food. And I'm like, you guys got to stop that because I can't come every day. I can't feed you every day. But they'll tell them, no, we'll wait on Coco. She's coming. She's coming. So for 4 months, we fed the homeless people 6 days a week, and they knew they were getting home cooked food, and it was gonna be good. And we spoiled, and I missed them that the program stopped, but they still know. I go down there and I check on them, and I send other organizations to feed them. So I know that partnering with other people and letting them see what we're doing, once they see it, they're like, oh, I want to do more. I want to do more. And I'm like, I'll give you the food, just cook it and take it just take it home. So, it makes a difference when you show people that they matter. And when I see them on the street, I I know that what I'm doing is good. I know when I'm walking and people like Coco, and I'm like, who knows me out here? And there's like, everybody knows you. Everybody knows you. You're local Coco. So I
Wow.
know what we're doing to making the difference. Yes.
Wow. That's that's
Just
that's
want to do
really
more.
beautiful. Yeah. I mean, that's really, really beautiful because I can't even imagine, it's small, small things. Having a chair, having a bed can be such a luxury for some people. And you
Hmm.
actually are providing them, for us and for others, it would be a basic necessity. It's like we can't even imagine just, having a mat or having a chair or just having a bed would be such a luxury. And for someone, you are providing them a luxury. So that's the biggest thing you're doing, and you're doing beautiful. So thank you so much for that. And also, Karlette, is there something that you would like to say to the audiences? Is there any message?
I just want everyone to sit back and reflect on this year, 2020. Think about how, if you're not going through anything, think about someone who is. And if you know that there's seniors living around you, please check on them. Also, don't judge the homeless people, because everyone that's homeless did not choose to be homeless, and they do have a story. They do. They do need someone to say you're gonna make it. Don't be afraid of them. All of them are not crazy. All of them are not, out to harm anybody. They just want to survive, and they just want to know that they matter. And it's key that check on your people, check on your neighbors. If you have something to spare, just give it to a person who is down on their luck. You never know. This might be the day that they take their lives because no one noticed them. No one acknowledged them. Just be kind to one another and show love. This world is hurting so bad that if we don't help each other, then we're totally lost. We need to do it as a team, collectively. Everyone show love. Everyone. Please do that. Please make that your New Year's resolution, to not judge people and to look at people in a different situation. And if you have it, please just help them. Even make some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches out and go pass them out to homeless people. Like, you'd be just so surprised. A bottle of cold water, you know. Just be kind. Just be kind. It
Mhm.
costs you nothing to be kind and smile at somebody.
Yeah.
Give them air hugs. Give them an air hug. Simple things. That's all. Yes.
Yeah. That's a beautiful message, and I hope that people actually listen to this and actually follow this in their life. And like you said, be kind to one another and take care of each other. Thank you so much, Scarlett, for doing what you're doing, and thank you so much for making this, making us believe in humanity, in goodness, in kindness, and and also in believing that people like you really exist. So thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for coming to
Thank.
SCube TV and speaking with us. It was so lovely having you in the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. So it's truly an honor, and I'm grateful that you're getting the word out. And I have a new friend in India.
Yes, you do.
All right. Well, you all have a wonderful night, because I know it's time for you to go to bed. And we've got work to do.
Yeah. You have a good day ahead.
Oh, someone entered the chair. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye. All right, guys, that's it from SCube TV. Keep on watching.